So let's start with some housekeeping stuff. We saw Yanni Gord out there today, and they said he was day to day. Is he going to be available for tonight, you would think, or what is the plan?
Jared McCann will be back in. Beyond that, we'll have a couple of game time decisions. Nobody else's status has changed as of this point.
And then tonight, because it seemed like Phil was the first off in that night.
Yes.
What do you anticipate from an Anaheim team that's on a pretty hot run right now?
Well, I've watched them play, and they're playing hard as a team together. They play very quick in transition and use their skill, and their ability at the net is good. Their numbers and ability around the net are good. So they're a good hockey team that's playing with confidence right now.
McCann is back in the lineup, but is it too much to expect that he would bring the same amount of energy that he did early on with that top line?
Well, it's always, coming out of COVID protocol is always a little bit different, or can be a little bit different than coming off of a normal injury rehab, just with the parameters around the protocol. But he's been able to have a good day of practice. He's feeling good, and he'll definitely, he'll add energy, and he'll add chemistry to our units up front.
Dave, I know you've been asked and others have talked about the goals coming right after a goal by your team. When you look at addressing that, do you look at addressing that from a mental side or a system side or both?
Depends on the situation. Some have no real bearing on, whether it's right after a goal or at the start or end of a period. Others are very much so, important in that regard. And so it really depends upon the situation. It's a combination of both in most cases. Both sides, need to be addressed.
Do you address then the momentum impact regardless of how the second goal may have come to be? Or is it important to just put any sort of momentum shift of disallowing that, I guess?
Momentum is obviously an important part of the game. And, in particular, I look at our game the other night in Vegas. We worked extremely hard through the second period, had a great second period. We ended up, getting one late in the period, and you end the period that way, and that's a real good result on the road coming out of a hard-working period. So, in that case, it's addressing both sides of it, and the momentum that pushes back the other direction is important, especially in a road game like that.
With special teams tonight, what kind of a test will it be, both on power play and penalty kill?
Specialty teams are important. That's they can very often be a driving factor and a difference maker in a win and a loss. So their power play is building momentum for them and creating offense for them. So both sides of specialty teams tonight are important. I liked the looks of our power play in Vegas. I liked some of the things we did yesterday and added to it in practice. That has to carry over now to a game, and both sides have to be difference makers for us.
What's been the conversation about goaltending and consistency and trying to get that save percentage higher than what it currently is?
I'm not big on the save percentage. I'm more so evaluate the saves and the key saves at big time. So. That's a big part of momentum swings and making a difference at key times in games.
So you say that about just kind of looking at those big saves. Like, what has kind of been the discussion about getting those big saves, and what can really be said?
There's just what I just talked about. That's it. I talked to you guys yesterday about dealing with things in direct and honest terms with our staff and with our players, and it's exactly that. So exactly what I just spoke to a minute ago. That's the conversation. Everybody knows what their job is, and everybody's got a desire to do it at the highest level. And I've talked about our group of guys in the dressing room and the fact that they're all in. In order to get things where we want them to be, everybody's got to do a little bit more and it'll be a little bit better. There's no drastic leaps we have to make. We've been too good for that, but we have to make small improvements in several areas in order to turn some of the lost points into wins for us.
You said you liked what you saw from the power play the other night in Vegas. It seemed like using that net front guy as a passing option was a bit more of an emphasis. assist. Is that something you and the coaching staff would like to see more of moving forward?
It's always an option. The bumper guy is a huge part of any good power play. It releases pressure. It allows playmaking from the middle. So that's always been an emphasis for us in order, in terms of finding a rhythm there and the puck speed. That's a big piece of a successful power play. So it's not just the guys in the positions. It's a lot of things that are, that come into play. And that the guy in the middle, the bumper, is really important in terms of being able to release pressure, and get pucks to the spots that they need to be with good speed.
And especially that goal line outlet. We saw Johansson obviously help set up that first power play goal with Everly and nearly set up another one. What does somebody like him or somebody like Jaden Schwartz bring to that area of the ice on that sort of special team game?
Well, everybody brings a little different skill set. I think you see JoJo. JoJo's been a guy that's been really good on the goal line and in that spot for many, many years, regardless of the power play that he's been a part of. So he's very effective there. He's got skills in opening up the ice and just feeling where the pressure is and is not. Ebbs is much the same when he's on the other side on the goal line. He's got good presence there. He sees the different seams that open up, so those guys are pretty effective there. Schwartzy goes about it a little bit differently, in net front. He's got such a good inside and quick stick. That's where he, he's really effective.
Great, thanks, Dave.
Thank you.